Thank you everyone so much for joining. My name is Katie. I'm on the product marketing team. So I work closely with our customers to understand how you're using Houzz Pro and get your feedback on all of our features. And then I also work closely with our product and engineering teams to make sure that we're building the right products to meet the needs of your business. Sophia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Sophia. I'm part of the Houzz Pro onboarding team. So I work closely with designers that first come on board onto Houzz Pro. So I'm happy to demo the different features to you guys today.
Awesome. Okay, so just a few housekeeping tips before we get into this. We will be sharing the recording afterwards, so don't feel like you need to take notes as we go through. And feel free to add any questions into the chat or the Q&A tab, and we'll do our best to answer them as we're going through this all. So with that, Sophia, I'll hand it over to you, and you can start the demo.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. Awesome. So today we're going to go ahead and start off with going over our Houzz Pro lead management tools. So this is where you can manage all of your client communication in one location. Here I'm on our leads page, which you can find on this left-hand side. And with your leads, there's a few ways that you can bring them in. So you can do it manually by creating a new lead. You can import them from a file. You can import through Zapier and then also import from email. I'm going to go ahead and click into one of the leads that I already have existing in here. When you go into the lead on this left-hand side, these are the different quick create tools that you can go ahead and create for this particular person. And on this right-hand side, we'll have all of the client details. So you can feel free to input any of these details for this particular client. And you can also use our CRM system to communicate directly with them. So you can email them or send them a text directly. Once the project is taken place, we can then convert this over. So I'll just click convert to project. I can fill in any of these extra details and then click on convert. Once I move this over, all of your messages as well as any documents that you create for them will automatically move over. So you don't have to copy and paste anything. Everything will transition straight into a project. Okay. I'm going to go straight into our projects here. And to create a new project, we can go right above here by clicking on create new project, and you'll just type in the project name and assign which client you're working for. But for this example, I'm going to go ahead and go into a project that I already have existing. The first tool that we're going to go ahead and start off with will be our contracts. This is a new feature that we rolled out with recently. But now with our contracts, you can create, edit, and sign contracts all within Houzz Pro. To create a contract right above here, we can do one from scratch. You can upload one, and then you can also use any existing contracts that you've created before and save it as a template. I'm going to go ahead and open up a contract that I've already created. And this is what the layout will look like. So you have full control over how the contract will look. We also have our smart text available. So basically this will autofill any of the information taken from the client and from the project itself. We can change out the fonts, the sizing of this, and at the bottom of our contract here, this is where you can collect your signatures. So you can add in multiple signatures as needed. Okay. Down below here, we will also have the activity stream. Once this contract looks good, we can go ahead and preview this document and send this out to collect that signature. And we can also attach this contract back into one of our documents. So inside of an invoice or inside of a proposal. I'm going to go back out into our project. And before we get started with any of our design tools, we're going to first go over the Clipper tool. So our Clipper tool is a Google Chrome extension that you will want to go ahead and download. To find that download button, you're going to go inside of your settings on this left-hand side and click on the Clipper tool. Okay, you're going to just click on Get the Clipper. So once you click on Get the Clipper, it's going to pop up this window right here. Go ahead and click on that. It should just take a few seconds to download. But basically, once you have the Clipper tool downloaded and you go into a product item, When you hover over the image of the item, you're going to get this black Houzz icon. You're going to go ahead and click on the icon, and on this right-hand side, you're going to get this pop-up window. Depending on the website, we have smart sourcing available, so that just means that it will go ahead and autofill the product information for us. In the case that it doesn't autofill, you can go ahead and highlight any of the information needed and assign it to that particular category. This tool works for any website, so it's not limited to just Houzz. You can use Pottery Barn, West Elm. You can clip as many images as needed for that particular item, and you can also adjust the cost as well. Down below here, we can also assign this to a particular category and vendor, and also for a project and room. So later, you're going to start clipping a bunch of items to help organize where each item is going to go into. You would want to assign that to that particular project and room. But once this all looks good, I'll go ahead and click Save to Houzz Pro, and I can now use this item back inside of my project. Okay. I'm going to go back into our project here, back to that sample project. Okay. And we're going to first start off inside of our mood boards. So our mood boards is an area for you to bring your design vision to life. I'm going to go ahead and start off with this completed mood board. And we have two different versions of our mood boards that I'm going to demo for today. So here we have our different product items, and then on the next page, we have our different swatches. So you can do multiple pages on your mood board, especially like when you're presenting this. You can show all the different ideas that you have on one page or on one mood board. On this right-hand side, we have all of the different product items that you've either clipped or saved into your library that we can go ahead and add in. We have our brand catalogs, which we have our Home Depot catalog. So instead of using the clipper tool, you can grab items straight from their website. We have our source items that you can find directly from our website. Our idea books that you find on our website that you've saved. We can also upload our own images. Paint colors, so we have all of the paint swatches to Sherman-Williams and Benjamin Moore. And then also any 3D floor plans that you've created so far, you can also add in. With our mood boards, you can save these as templates. So typically designers will save like their logo and the placement of their wording as a template so they can continue to reuse these. And you can also title each of your mood boards as well. Okay. When you start adding in your different product items, we have different ways to kind of edit the products itself. So if you find that you clip on an item and it doesn't give you a clear background, what you can do is click on the three dots on here, click on Edit Background, and we have our AI tools that will automatically clear up the background for us. So if there's like a shadow that's showing and you want a clean cut, you can use the AI tool for that. We also have our automatic version and then a manual version as well, where you can erase things. The background as well we can change. So if you go right above here, we can click on the background. Sometimes people will like to click on that paint swatch color and change the background to that particular color. So if I go right here, I can click on this and it will go ahead and switch it to Swiss Coffee. Once your mood board is completed, you can go ahead and download this. You can save it as a template, you can print this, and then you can also share it directly to that client. So you can email it over to them, you can copy the link and send that over. On the client's end, they'll get the email, they'll click on the link, and they'll be able to see the mood board just as how you left it. Any questions on the mood board?
Yes, we have a few questions. Would you be able to show how to create a template?
Yeah, so to create a template, you're going to go above here under your Actions tab, and you're going to go ahead and click Save as a Template, and you'll just put in that template name, create template, and that will go ahead and save just like this, and then we can continue to reuse it.
Okay, great. And then is there an easy way if you wanted to copy multiple images, duplicate another product?
Sorry, what was the second part?
Yeah, just to duplicate any of the product images. Is there an easy way to do that?
Yeah, so we can go ahead and click on the product item itself, click on the three dots, and then we can go ahead and duplicate it just like this. And then if I needed to remove an item, same thing, you'll want to click on the product itself and then click on delete.
Okay, great. That's good for now. We can keep on going.
Okay, awesome. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and cover will be our 3D floor plan. With our 3D floor planner, there's a few ways that we can go ahead and create one. We have our room scan, and we also have LiDAR technology as well. So LiDAR will be used through our newer iPhones, where you can walk into a space and convert that space into 3D. With our room scan, basically what you're going to be able to do is walk into the space, scan your phone, and it'll pick up on the doors and the windows and the measurements inside of the room. With our LiDAR technology, it will also pick up on the furniture that's inside of the space, and it will pick up on the generic items in the space. Once you're done with the scan with your mobile app, it'll then transfer over into your Houzz Pro account automatically. When you go inside of your 3D floor planner on the desktop, we can also do an upload of a 2D plan. So that's where you convert your floor plan and you would upload it. We have AI technology that will go ahead and convert those plans straight into 3D. So it'll build out the walls for us. You can also create one from scratch. So if you already have the measurements, you can do this and just draw out your walls. And then we also have different templates available for you to use and continue to build off from. For this particular example, I'm going to go ahead and open up my kitchen 3D floor plan that I've already previously created. Well, here we go. So above here, we have our 3 different viewpoints. So we have our floor plan view, we have our dollhouse, and then we also have a walkthrough. So that's if you're already inside of the space. Above here is where you can go ahead and draw out any additional walls, and we can also do an outdoor space. We have our measurements that will go ahead and give us the measurements of the different rooms, and then we can also draw out a space to see how wide something is. Okay. We also have a photorealistic image, so we can do camera images as well. So they'll kind of do like a screenshot image of the space. And when we generate this to look photorealistic, it'll go ahead and convert inside of our files and photos, and we can share with the client what it will look like once the remodel is done. On this right-hand side, these are all of the different items that we can go ahead and start adding in. So in our structures, we'll have all different types of doors and windows that you can select from and customize. We have our generic products. So this is where you can find like your kitchen items, your cabinetry. Our source items are going to be items that we've already 3D rendered straight from our website. Okay, so these items are going to be a bit more unique, where you would be able to customize the sizing of the item, but you won't be able to change the color. We can upload our plans. We went over the camera. And then we also have My Products. So with your products, you can now convert your items into 3D. On everyone's account, you will have a certain amount of credits that you can convert into 3D, which will change every month. So sorry, it won't change, but your credits will, you'll get new credits every month. So I've already converted that item that we had just clipped earlier today, but I'm going to go ahead and convert this item or just show us the process. Whenever you're clipping on your item, you just want to make sure that you have a clear background. So the AI tool is going to be able to detect what particular item we are converting. You'll go ahead and click on continue. And you're going to go ahead and select on the product itself so that we can get a clear image of what we want converted into 3D. So kind of just like this. And we can use this image on the right-hand side to grasp everything to make sure that we have all product items or all items showing just like this. I'll go ahead and click on generate. And this will just take a couple of minutes, but we can close this window while we work on our floor planner. I've already converted this image, so I can go ahead and add this in just to show you guys what that will look like. I'll go to that dollhouse view, and I can see that product that has been added in, okay, just like this. I'm going to go ahead and delete this item. Okay. Once you're done with your 3D floor planner, there's a few ways that you can share this with your client. So under our Actions tab, we can duplicate this and add this to a new project. We can print and download this as a PDF. And we can also share it via email with the client and also through the client dashboard. And you can also copy this link and paste this link into your dashboard so you know exactly what the client sees on their end. So they as well will get the 3 different viewpoints. So the floor plan view, the dollhouse, as well as the walkthrough. Okay, just like this. Going back to the floor plan itself, within every product item here, we can leave a comment. So you can leave a comment on the walls or on the flooring itself. And this comment is going to either the client or to your team. So you can decide who you're sending this comment to. Okay. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and click on that undo button. There we go. So now my sofa here is done. So I'll just go ahead and review it. I'll put in the measurement so that it can put the item to scale right into here and then click on Save Product, and then we would be able to add that in. Okay. Any questions on the 3D floor planner?
Yes, we do have some questions. This is always a hot topic with lots of questions. Are you able to do room scanning on an iPad?
Sorry, got cut off a little bit. What was the first part of the question?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you do the room scanning on an iPad?
Yes, you can do it on the iPad. You just want to make sure that you have the Houzz Pro app downloaded.
Okay, great. And is there a way to add a ceiling to floor plans?
Yeah, so if you go inside of our structures right here, we have a dedicated area for ceilings. You'll click on Edit Ceiling. You'll click on the room that you want to change the ceiling on, and we have our different options right here. I can also change the ceiling height and the peak. If I go from that dollhouse view, I can see exactly what that looks like.
Great. And then can you just show some of the customization options for flooring, for instance?
Yeah, so what you want to do is go back to that floor plan view, and I'm going to double click on the floor itself. And on this right-hand side, we'll be able to select from our different wood options, tile, as well as carpet. You'll also be able to change out the pattern depending on the flooring. If you're doing plank sizes, you can also change that as well. Another customization that we can do is with the walls. So if I double click on the wall itself, the same thing on this right-hand side, I'll go ahead and click on the color. I can choose from Benjamin Moore and Sherman-Williams. But I can also do a finish. So I can choose from the different tile options that we have as well as wallpaper.
Great. And then one last question here. I see there's some grass in that floor plan. Is it possible to create outdoor spaces?
Yes. So to create your outdoor space on this left-hand side under the draw walls, we'll be able to draw outdoors. You'll draw it out just like how you would for a room. We can double click on the flooring itself and change that outdoor surface. So we have different paver options, ground covers, deck, and pavement. And then you can also add any outdoor products as well. So instead of our generic products, we'll have a dedicated section for outdoor products. And you can use any of the items that you find here. And then you can also convert any of your own products as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, we're good to keep on going.
Okay, awesome. So the next item that I'm going to go ahead and demo will be our selections board. Okay, so we're going to be able to find that on this left-hand side right here. In our selections board, it's a great way to visualize to the client the different product items that you are selecting for them. And then it's also very interactive where the client can make their approvals on the certain items that you've selected so far as well. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this selections board that I've already created. And you can separate these by room. So this particular example will be our kitchen. Okay. And everything you see here, you can fully customize. So we have our mood board in here and our 3D floor planner, and then we have all of our product items. I've already separated these, but basically on this right-hand side, this is where you're going to start adding in your different product items. So my items will be the items that you've clipped. We have our brand catalog. So this will be like the Home Depot catalog, the 3D floor planners, the mood boards, any images as well as files that you have for this particular project. Within these items, I went ahead and I created a section. So to create a section, you're just going to go ahead and select on these items. And then under our actions tab, you'll be able to create sections. So sometimes what some of my designers will do is that if they have like 4 different cabinets and they wanted the client to ultimately decide on one, they'll create it into a section. And in the description here, they'll say, please select one of the 4. And we also have a comment button. So you as a designer, you can leave a comment to the client as well as to the team about this particular item. And on your view, you have the item overview, you have the link of the item, you also have the pricing as well. But later when we share this with the client, we can fully customize what they will see on their end. Okay. We can also set up a budget on the top right corner here, so an overall room budget, and then we can decide which items here will be included in that budget. Okay. Once this all looks good, I'll go ahead and preview before I share this out with the client. Okay. Going ahead, let me maybe just refresh this. There you go. So right above here, you can customize exactly what your client sees. So currently, my client can see the pricing of the item and the item overview, okay, just like this. So I can go above here and I can turn pricing off. Okay. I can also turn the description off. If I wanted to show the link, I can show that as well. And then I can also decide what approvals I want. So let's say for the mood board, we've already sent that out, so they don't need to approve or decline anything. So I can go ahead and turn that off if needed. And down below here, everything should have adjusted as well. And I'll go ahead and share this out to them. So I can email this over to them. I can also export this as a PDF as well, and I'll send this out. On the client's end, they'll go ahead and view this selections board, go ahead and approve and decline the particular items. But from this point, I've already approved some of these items. Well, what we can do is now convert these items straight into either a proposal or an invoice. So I'm actually going to refresh this because it should appear right above here. Okay, there we go. So at the top here, I'm going to go ahead and click on convert. Okay. And I'm only going to see those pending and approved items. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and select all of these. But I can set up my different filters above here, and I'm going to convert this straight into an estimate. But before I move this over to an estimate, do we have any questions on the selections board?
I think one thing that's helpful to show is also how you can make some images bigger or different sizes.
Yeah, so when you click on the image itself, on the 3 dots, we can change the size right here. So we can change it between small, medium, and large. Okay. Just like that. Yeah.
And that's a great way if there are certain products where you really want to bring your client's attention to them, you can make them bigger to make them stand out more on the selections board.
Mm-hmm.
And then one other question, can you explain the difference between a selections board and a proposal?
Yeah, so the selections board ideally would be done first, where you want to kind of share the different ideas that you have and you want to narrow down on the product items before you charge the client. So the selections board is a communication piece where you're going back and forth with the client. You're sending over the different product items, they're making their approvals, whereas the proposal is more like a finalized document where you'll have all of the product items, you can set up your payments, and then before we move that over to an invoice.
Okay, great. That's all the questions.
Okay, perfect. So I'll go ahead and convert these items here. And I'm going to select all of these items and I'm going to move it over inside. We call it the estimate, but this will move to a proposal. It'll be the same thing. So once we move everything over, it'll look just like this. And we can fully customize this look. When you are doing a proposal, you can do one from scratch. So you do not have to do the selections board first. You can go straight into a proposal, do one from scratch, do one from a template. You can also upload one as well. But for this particular example, I'm going to go ahead and just do the ones that we have from the selections board. On this right-hand side here, we can go ahead and customize this view. So you want to turn on all of the columns that will be needed when you are building out your proposal for your client, because later we can then customize exactly what they would see. Okay. This right-hand side, we can also add in any additional items. So if I go to my items, I'll be able to see those items that I had just clicked. Okay. I can also upload any templates that I have, and also any recent proposals as well. I can separate how I view these items as well. So right now I'm viewing it by section. I can view it by category as well, just like this. With all of these items, I can fully customize this as well. So I can change out the pricing as needed. I can also put in a markup as well. So if I wanted to do like an overall markup, I can click on these three dots and set up a default value. Okay. As I scroll down here, I'll have my payment breakdown. So I will be able to adjust what my markup will be. I can also put in a discount, which will be a negative amount. And then I can also add in a tax rate as well. So in your settings, you can set up a default rate, so that will automatically apply. But then also within each document, you can select which tax rate you want to use. We also have our payment breakdown as well. So right now my default is a deposit and upon completion, but you can always change these out. So I'm going to delete payment. Every time I click on schedule payment, this will break up for me. So I can change that payment name, the amount. So I can change by the fixed amount or the percentage. I can adjust what my due date will be as well. If you plan on collecting payments through Houzz Pro and you send this out, when they pay via credit card or ACH, that will log automatically. So it will show up as paid once that payment's been made. Or I can log payments in manually. So I can log in if they've paid via cash or check. And we would be able to send them a receipt. So once you select your payment method and you click on done, there'll be an option right here that will say send email receipt to client. We can also attach any files, memos, terms and conditions. You can fully customize these titles as well, and you can save as default or as a template. You can also link that contract that you have inside of the proposal. And then we can also collect a signature directly on this document as well. Down below here, we'll have the activity stream. So you'll be able to see which team member created what. And then also you'll be able to see when the client has received the document. Above here, under our Actions tab, this is where you can go ahead and approve this on behalf of the clients. You can create these items straight into an invoice or a purchase order. We can also save this as a template, duplicate it to another project. And you can also merge proposals as well. So if you have multiple proposals for the same project, we can combine them. We also have automations above here, so we can set up different triggers. So payment reminders, thank you messages after the proposal's been approved. And then at the top here, before we send this out to them, we'll always preview this document. Okay. So we know exactly what is being shared with them. And so from here, we can customize what they can see. So we can show the detailed breakdown. We can show the detailed pricing as well. We can also decide like what exactly, which columns we want turned on or off. And then we can also decide if we want to do approvals per line item. If you're doing this from the selections board, at that point, those items have already been approved, so we can turn this on or off. I'm going to go ahead and continue to scroll down here. The client will be able to see that payment breakdown and then go ahead and sign this. Once this all looks good, we will go ahead and send this out to them. We can email this or text it to them or both. And you can always copy that link and view exactly what the client sees on their end. Okay. Any questions?
Just to elaborate a little bit, I know you mentioned online payments. So we do offer bank transfer as well as credit card payments through Houzz Pro. We strongly recommend you set those up so then clients can pay you online, which is a convenience that a lot of clients do really enjoy. And then you'll also get everything tracked automatically. So Sophia showed you can log a check manually, but when you do get paid through Houzz Pro, everything is automatically tracked and you'll get notified. So you don't have any of that manual work involved. Mm-hmm. So just one plug there for online payments. And then a question, Sophia, is there a way to create a retainer as well?
Yes, there is a way to create a retainer. So within your project, we can create a retainer beforehand. The setup will be the same. So you'll be able to put in your price, you'll collect a payment straight on that retainer. And before you log that payment in, the first thing that will pop up will be that retainer amount. So you'll be able to select if you're going to apply that full retainer amount back into this document. And then you'll just click on done and then it will show up as paid.
Awesome. Okay, good to keep on moving.
Okay, awesome. So from the proposal itself, we can now move this either straight into an invoice or into a purchase order. I'll go ahead and show a purchase order first. So I'll go ahead and just select on these two different items here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on create purchase order. It's going to have me select what vendor I got this particular item from. And I'll go ahead and click on create purchase orders. And it's going to go ahead and move me to that page right into here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and open this particular purchase order. And at any time, I can always see my linked document. So I can see that this particular item came from my proposal. Okay. And here we have our vendor and our ship to address. And same thing, you can fully customize this. It's going to look very similar to that proposal, but we know it's a purchase order from right above here, and it gives us our purchase order number. If I go back to my proposal here, I can also move any of these items straight into an invoice as well. So I'm going to go into here. I'll make my selections here. So let's just say I'm going to move these 3 particular items into an invoice. So I can go here and click on create invoice. I can decide if I'm going to invoice the remaining balance or by a percentage. In this case, I'll go ahead and do a remaining balance of the items that I have selected. And I'll go ahead and move this over, and it says invoice from with my invoice number. And then it also shows me my 2 linked documents now. And I can see that this particular proposal is partially invoiced. And same thing, we'll have that payment breakdown, files, memos, terms and conditions. The only thing that you won't be able to do on the invoice is collect that signature. So the signature will only be taken on contracts and on the proposal itself. Okay. Any questions on proposals or invoices?
No, no questions there.
No? Okay, perfect. The next tool that I wanted to cover will be our selections tracker. So the tracker is a great way for you to be able to see exactly where your items are inside of the project. So it's going to give us an overview of every single item that we've used and what document that particular item is living in. If I scroll to the right here, we'll be able to add in any extra details, so any specifications of that particular item. We can also update the order tracking on it as well. And any additional items that you want to add in, we can also click on this plus sign and add in those details. At the top here, you can fully customize how you view your tracker. So if you only want to see the items that are in the approval status or in a particular document, we can change that view just like this. And we can also export any of this information. So you can download this as an Excel sheet, as a PDF, so an FFE schedule, and then also as a tear sheet. When you download this as well, you can fully customize what gets shown. So you have full control over that as well. Okay. Any questions on the tracker?
No questions.
Okay, perfect. So the next tool that we'll go ahead and cover will be our budget feature, just doing a brief overview. You can keep track of how much is coming in and out. So when you have your proposal document, you'll go ahead and link that into the budget. And as the project is ongoing, you can add in what the actual cost is. This is actually one of a different estimate that I've already linked. This is more of a construction job, but the concept will be exactly the same. You'll log in what the actual item is. You can log that in as an expense or as a time entry, or even your purchase orders and link those in, and you'll be able to see the variance. All right. The next tool that we'll go ahead and cover will be our time and expenses. Just a brief overview on your time and expenses. So like all of your team members that have access to the Houzz Pro account will be able to log in their time. So on everyone's account, there's going to be a little stopwatch, a clock in button on this left-hand side, and you can have multiple clocks going on at once, but you're going to decide like what project you're working on and that particular service, and you'll go ahead and click on clock in, and you'll have an ongoing clock running. Once you're done, you'll go ahead and clock out, and those time entries will automatically appear here. And with these time entries, you can either download it, use it for your own reference, or you can also move these time entries and create it straight into an invoice.
Just one question. Can everyone on your team use that clock in and clock out feature?
Correct, yes.
Okay, great. Thanks.
All right. And then another tool that we have is our client dashboard. So within our client dashboard, this is an area for your client to view everything in one location. It's an active link, and the client only needs to save that one link and they can continue to go to it. You can fully customize exactly dashboard, but as you share your different documents, that's what they will be able to see. You can adjust any widgets on here as well, so you can add in the weather. You can also put in above here like your own image. We'll have your logo on here as well. But once you share this out to that particular client, they'll be able to preview this just like how you would be able to see it down below here. Okay. All right. Any questions on the client dash?
No. The client dashboard, though, is a great spot. We've heard a lot of really good feedback just for your clients having everything able to access in one spot. It saves them a lot of headache. It saves you a lot of headache. So it's a win-win overall.
Yes. And then the last tool that we're going to go ahead and cover for today will be our schedule tool. So our schedule is a really great space for you to document everything that's going to happen within the project, either for your team, for your client, or just for your own bookkeeping. I went ahead, this is a schedule that I've already pre-created, but you can save your different schedules as templates and continue to reuse them throughout your different projects. We have our different phases of here. So this is kind of like the main header and then all the line items that will come underneath it. Within each item here, you can fully customize your work days, who will be assigned to that particular item, the location. You can put in a description on here as well. And then you can also assign tasks. So let's say, please double check. I click on this right here, I can set up a due date when I want this completed by, and then I can also assign this to my team members, to any of my clients, as well as subcontractors as well. We have 3 different viewpoints. So we also have the calendar view, and then we also have the list view. So the list view will be nice for you to be able to see all the different tasks that are assigned to each of the line items. Okay. The schedule as well, when you're ready to share this out with the client, we can go ahead and give them access through that client dashboard. Okay. Any questions on the schedule?
Is there a way to see an overview of all the schedules you have going on at one time?
Yeah, great question. So right above here on the top left corner, we have our search tab. So this is actually a great way for you to see all documents that you created, regardless of project. So for the schedule in particular, we can see that schedule overview right here. And I can go ahead, oops, let me refresh this. I'll be able to see all of our different schedules going on right through here. And then I can also filter this by my team, by the project, and then also by the item itself.
Amazing. Yes, that's a very helpful feature for our designers. Just one thing before we close, do you want to show that green chat bubble in the bottom right-hand corner?
Yeah, so on this bottom right-hand corner, we have our live support team. So if you do run into any questions or issues on the account, you can always send them a message directly through here. On this homepage, we also have our help center directly through here that you can send a message to as well. On this left-hand question mark as well, we have the link directly to our help center. So this will actually have all of our updated resources and videos on all of our different features that we have. So definitely take advantage on exploring any of the features. If we may have missed something, you can go into here and it will give you a deep dive on all questions that you can think of. We also have down below here Houzz Pro training. So if you guys would like to join in on any additional webinars, you can find them straight through here and you can register directly.
Amazing. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you everyone so much for joining. We know that we covered a lot here, but there is a lot to learn within Houzz Pro. So as Sophia showed you, there are plenty of other resources to help you get started. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our team. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.